and you refuse to pay, then I can eventually issue a warrant. I'm not here to put people in jail. That is not a fix to me as a judge. My goal is to make dads understand you've got to step up and pay. I can't make the fathers do what what the moms may want. A lot of times these child support cases are brought because of frustration or anger and honestly lack of control of the other person because you guys have been in a relationship. I'm not participating in that. But dads, I will issue the warrant if I find that you have the ability to pay and you're just not paying. I try to give dads a few, some months to get on track and to pay, because at the end of the day, what's important is for the child to have the support. Putting a person in jail doesn't do anything. The case will go to state court, and if I issue the warrant, then I issue it. But dad, you'll get a signature bond, and everything will be handled. Now, you can reinstate your license. It's likely suspended, which is something that I don't necessarily, as a judge, find to be in the best interest, because the non-custodial parent needs their license to drive and to get to work to make money, but your licenses may be suspended. And if so, you can reinstate your license by getting a job, taking the money directly out of your paycheck. And the second way you could do it is by paying a percentage that's past due. We have attorney Carson. Ms. Carson's here. She's the attorney from DCSS. This is a criminal hearing. So if you're not satisfied with me making a decision not to issue a criminal warrant, you have the right to go to the civil court and file a contempt. Okay, so that's your remedy. If you say like, she just won't put him in jail, then you can go file a contempt. Okay, my goal is to see what needs to be done, and if a person has physical or some type of issues that may make me decide not to issue a warrant, then you can go to civil court and file a contempt. And then if you file a contempt, that judge can make a decision, because every case is not some of the mothers have multiple children, the fathers have multiple children, fathers are working minimum wage, can't support 4 or 5 children. That's not a crime. That's just an inability. So you could go to the other court and figure out if you could file a contempt, and the judge could decide if that person should be held in contempt. Okay? All right. So in this case, we've been going on with this case for quite a while. The mom had closed the case, then she reopened the case, and there was contempt pending in October. Ms. Carson, well, let's see. So we had a hearing after that, but let's see. Ron just issued a warrant, was not present, but it stayed pending. Hearing where respondent expected to appear and show proof of payments. Warrant held until, let's see. Both parties turn. Oh wow, yeah, it's been a year. Okay, so in this case, he's under an order to pay $360 a month as the base pay, $72 toward a repay. We're showing May, he made a payment. July, he made a payment. September, he made 2 payments, which would have probably covered August and September. So it looks like he was trying to get on track and then kind of fell off. Ms. Carson, any update?
I don't see anything.
What about the contempt? Did they have the contempt hearing?
I don't see anything in here about a contempt hearing.
Huh.
Let me look and see if I can.
Maybe that was last year. I think it's been a year that we've handled this case. So, all right. So, Ms. Turner, at this point, we have given him every opportunity. He didn't come to court. He hasn't made, he was making payments, but he didn't make the October payment and the November payment. So have you had any communication with him? I know you guys don't communicate. You're one of the cases that the parties don't speak. So I presume you have not had any communication with him?
No, I called him on my daughter's birthday, November 20th. He hasn't said anything about paying. He follows me on social media, so he sees me every day through social media. So I don't know why he's paying.
All right. Well, so what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead, and you don't need to call him and tell him. I'm going to go ahead and issue the warrant because the case has been open long enough. To give him a chance to be consistent, and he's not consistent. So you cannot file a child support abandonment anymore. The case is being turned over to state court. During the time, I hope he pays, but it takes a while to get to state court. And until you hear from state court, just stay on top of your case. I think I had already issued it, and I think you already signed it. Can we check to see if she's already signed the warrant before? Because I put it on hold. And so I'll go ahead and issue it. So I just want it, it's tough when I have the case. I keep trying, and at least you receive some payments. But once I turn it over to state court, it may be a year before it gets before them. And then,
like, you tried to give him time after time. You even told him to pay $100. It's like he ain't trying to pay it all. So I don't even care no more about it, because it's like,
no, I know. I'm just telling you the next part. What's going to happen is it's going to go to state court. Make sure when it goes to state court that you stay involved. The only way you can find out is you should receive a notice. Just be an active participant when it goes to state court, because sometimes if moms aren't actively involved, this process may take longer. So just watch your case in state court, okay? But now you're out of the abandonment phase. Eventually, you'll hear that your case is going to trial in state court, and then everything will be handled by the judge in state court.
So I just need to just like wait on like letters in the mail. I can't contact nobody. Like, I just wait on letters in the mail.
Yeah, you just have to wait for the state court judges. It's a misdemeanor offense if he's found guilty, and so we're just checking to see if you already signed. I think you did, actually. So because I had an issue.
No. I'm sorry,
No?
excuse me, Judge. No,
That's
she
okay.
she needs to come in and sign.
Okay, so whenever you can, Ms. Turner, I know you're often working when we're in court, but whenever you get a chance, we're on Memorial Drive, and the office is open, It's someone during the day, and sometimes people are there in the evening. So you'll have to go to. I'll have my clerk send you the address, and you'll need to go in and sign the warrant. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your patience during this time, and I know you're a hardworking mom, and I'm sorry that it had to come to this because he was stepping up a little bit, but step back. Okay. Well, happy holidays to you, considering
All right.
everything. Dad's getting
Take
a
care,
new
bye-bye.
job.
Alright.
That was back in February. Let me scroll down to the bottom. Dad was arrested in Illinois, and then he shall Illinois, and shall make a payment October. Both payments are not made. Warrant shall issue. Return mail. He's supposed to be paying $264 the base pay. We were in court September, and he did make a payment in September. No payment since then. He's not in court. Okay, we could bring mom in now, please. All right. So, Ms. Carson, no update other than what you've already given us. Is that correct?
Nothing. I've just been reading through for the past couple of months and I don't see anything in here at all.
Okay. Ms. Hendricks, good morning. Have you received any direct compensation or had any conversations with Mr. Bailey?
Yes, I have. We had a discussion November 30th. Basically I was just telling him, the same thing I've been telling him for like 4 years now. Just like you said, he's supposed to be helping me financially, for food, shelter, and etc. Basically, he keeps saying he's gonna try, he's gonna try to get it right. He wants to be in his son's life. This is basically the same thing, and he's just
Okay,
he's-
so allow him to be in his son's life, even if he's not paying child support. We'll let the state court handle the child support. But as a judge who's been doing this for years and a mom, I wouldn't control him not seeing his son if he wants to see him because he's not paying child support. You know what I mean? They're not connected. The love and affection of a father and a child is important as well as the support. And I understand that. So I understand that moms feel that way. But if you see what's going on in this world when little boys don't have their dads, it's not good. So hopefully you can work that out where he can see him. I'm not, you guys work that out.
we did have a conversation about the days that we were going to like let him get him.
Okay.
And him up with Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and I will pick him up from school on Mondays. But when we made that agreement, he probably did it maybe 3 times, and after he stopped picking him up. I asked him repeatedly, why are you not picking Giovanni up? He said he has other things to do, and I'm asking him like other things like what is more important than your son.
Okay.
He
Well,
does. He's
just
just to work it out with me with the days.
Okay. Well, the court, so nobody can, can make a dad step up. But if he does, sometimes still be open to it. But he's not here. I think I've had the case open for a while. Let's see, this has been open since January or February, and he's not been consistent. He did have a job. We were trying to get an income deduction order, no luck. So I'm turning the case over to state court. So you can't follow a criminal abandonment warrant anymore. It's going to the next court, which will be the state court. You'll hear from them when it's time for your case to go to trial. But it's out of our magistrate court abandonment phase. It's now going to issuing a criminal warrant. You'll have to go down to our office. Our clerk will give you the number. You'll have to sign the abandonment warrant, and that turns the case over to state court. All right. So we won't be handling it anymore, and you cannot come back and file the abandonment because everything's going to be going on with state court. Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Or we didn't really. I don't understand. I don't know if he came to court last time. Did he come to court last time?
I can look at my notes. I don't recall.
I just remember him saying that he was incarcerated and he went to go gamble with his friends or something.
Yeah, he said that, but he was here in court. Yeah, November. He wasn't. He was here on September 22nd.
Yeah.
He was here. So he was not here on December 8th. Oh, that's today. I'm sorry. My clerk's fast. She already put the notes in. So anyway, I'm issuing the warrant. So you'll come down to our court 3630 Camp Circle. And then you could just sign the warrant. It'll be turned over to our state court, and they'll let you know when that case is going forward. Okay.
Okay. Do you know the date that I'm supposed to be going, or they'll just call me or something?
It's going to be a long time.
Okay.
I try to keep these cases going, but at some point, because at least something comes in. But I have no control over when state court. It's going to be a while, probably 6 to 8 months out. You should be able to hear something of when the case is going to trial because it's a criminal case.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You're excused. I hope you have good holidays considering the circumstance. All right. So in this one, okay. Yep. Only unmute if I ask you to mute. Go ahead and mute yourself. Today is December 8th. On this case, Mr. Burns, you have a child support order to pay $393 a month. The information I have from child support, you're 2,200 past due, with on average 2,287. September, you did pay a full payment of $435.46. In November, there was no payment in October. And then November, you made 2 payments. And then we showed an income deduction order for the November 22nd payment. And then there was just another payment on December 6th, but it was only $41. It was an income deduction order. So I'm a bit baffled about your employment. So Mr. Burns, what's going on with your employment?
Yes, ma'am. I was actually in the hospital for a month at 3 separate occasions. So so I lost my job. The payments I did make was either came from my last check that I made or anything else I could get. Actually, my friends actually pitched in for the $40 or whatever to pay something. So this is only us talking.
No, we're streaming live on YouTube.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, we're required to. So
Sure. Yeah, I understand.
all I want to find out is what are you doing to try to get your employment back, or are you having medical issues that are
Yes,
interfering
ma'am.
with your ability?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The hospital wanted me to sign up for Medicaid or something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room just for a moment with Ms. Carson, the attorney, and Ms. Birmingham, so that we're not in live court. And we need to Ms. Birmingham, if you don't mind her being there, so we can understand your medical issues. If you mind her being there, then I won't put her in because I can.
No, please don't.
Okay, so Ms. Carson is the attorney for DFACS. For DCSS. I'm going to let her, and then she can chat and share with me what's going on. So I'm going to put you guys in a breakout room momentarily, and then when you come back in, she'll share with me what's going on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So for privacy information and HIPAA, we're not going to do this live. Okay. So we'll be in a brief recess while we let Ms. Carson speak with Mr. Burns. So, Ms. Birmingham, it seems as though Mr. Burns does have some, I would say, very serious medical issues, but he's still trying to find employment. Mr. Burns, do you have any documentation? What county do you live in, Mr. Burns? You can unmute for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
What county do you live? Okay. All right. So my clerk's going to give you, the email that you received, notice of the court date. Can you scan and send anything from a doctor verifying?
Yes, ma'am.
If you could send me verification that those, because what you shared with Ms. Carson. Oh, sorry, Ms. Carson, I took off your video too. Let me ask you. It's extremely serious, and that would be a crime if you can't pay. But my understanding is you still are looking for employment. So, Ms. Birmingham, I may have to turn this case over to a contempt and not a criminal matter. He is looking for employment, even though he has what is described as very serious medical conditions that hopefully will go well. And he is applying for disability as well because of those conditions. And I can't, of course, share those. So I will reset the case just to get an update on the medical status. I'll need something from a physician, a doctor sharing what your diagnosis. And then if it's confirmed as Birmingham, I can't issue a criminal warrant because it's a matter that's not a crime. It's just the inability to pay. But if you do get some type of employment, Mr. Burns, just start trying to pay something weekly, something, every other week if you can, just to show that you're making an effort during this difficult time for your life to pay support because of, mom's need for the child support. Ms. Birmingham, so I'm going to mute you, Mr. Burns, and Ms. Birmingham, I'll hear from you. Go ahead, please.
Hi, good morning, Your Honor. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. My goal was not to file any type of criminal charges against Bobby Burns. I do see that there has been, there was points where there was a lot of gaps. I just wanted it to be known to him how important it is to be consistent with the payments, because when he's not, I have to pick up the slack. But I'm not trying to pursue any criminal charges against him by any means. I just needed to be consistent. And at the same time, definitely.
Okay, well, that's why we're here. This is a criminal court. You filed it because you want support. You're sharing with him. You guys should be able to talk that out on your own. Say, look, Bobby, I'm not here to try to put you in jail. I just need you to provide support. And maybe he needs to tell you how serious his medical circumstance is. It's not good. And so he needs y'all need to figure that out, how to communicate so you can work that out, because
I have a protection order against him. I cannot communicate with him.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's order for protection, please.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I can't do anything right now. We'll reset the case. Mr. Burns, I need you to send the documentation. Sorry, you guys are going through this. I just don't like, as a judge, when families get upset at each other and do things, and now there's an order of protection. So what we're going to have to do, I'll just reset the case. Actually, I need to receive the documentation before I reset it. So we're going to make a notice, because if he is verifying what it is, I can't reset the case, but you'd have to file a contempt. But I'll have my clerk call you and let you know if we're going to reset the case or just see if you need to put it on a contempt calendar, because if he's pending disability and with the conditions that he shared, and he's going to still looking for a job and trying to pay something, I'm not able to issue a warrant. So we'll follow up with you, okay? And let you know what's going to happen. All right?
All right, thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. You guys are both excused from court. Mr. Burns, please make sure you send that information, scan, and forward that information to my attention, to that magistrate court email. And then I'll be able to look over and decide whether or not we're going to go forward with the criminal hearings, okay? If you guys could both mute yourselves. All right, in this case, let's see, it started in July. Both parties are present. Deb needed to make October, November payments by the reset. Dad made September and September. Dad has 2 child support orders, total 600. And your mail was returned on November 1st. I don't know what happened there, but thank you for coming to court. So you're under an order to pay 442. It looks as though you paid 120 at the end of July, 120 in August, 480 in September, and no payments in October or November. Mr. Dunham, that's what we're showing. So what's
Yes,
going on with that?
the job that I was brought on to do, apparently a ticket that I got right before COVID started affected my insurance, so I couldn't get insured to do the medical delivery job. So my mom and I just recently switched insurance companies so that we could afford the insurance so I could start the job, because they had to withdraw my application from Courier Express. So I just got insurance to do that, and I have an interview at a job at the airport next week.
Okay. So, I know this sounds really bad, but do you not have the ability to at least make a payment on a credit card and then you could resolve that payment later, because you can't go 60 days without a child support payment?
No, but I was working this month, so I was going to pay something this month towards October and November. So
Okay.
by the January came, I would just have to worry about December, and then by the end of January, I'll be caught up.
Okay.
And with that payment amount for this case, it was based off of a job that I had during COVID, and I had a ghost route at FedEx. And once everything normalized, that route didn't exist anymore, so I didn't have that job. And I explained that to the clerk at the child support office, and she said that a lot of people quit their jobs when they get issued child support, so there was nothing that they could do about that. That's why I
Yeah,
needed
and I would be concerned that your license, can we check the status of his driver's license, please?
Did, Your Honor, and it will suspend on the 12th.
All
a
right,
few
so
more days.
you have 4 days to
Sorry.
get hold on, you got 3 days to get a payment in, like a substantial payment. I don't know how you're gonna have to hit friends, family, and make a payment, because if your license is suspended, then there goes your courier job, which doesn't make any sense because you need that job and you need your license.
Well, I'm
Yeah, he
in
needs to go down to the child support office.
I have the fatherhood program orientation on the 12th, and I spoke to a representative on the phone for child support. They said that the suspension was supposed to be postponed because I was in the fatherhood program. They're supposed to help me get a job.
It is not, no.
And that's generally true, but she's saying that's not what's in the system.
And
Right,
I didn't
scheduled to be.
receive any mail indicating that my license would be suspended as I usually would.
Because they send it to the address that your license is on when you first got your license, if you haven't changed it, which.
No, it's the same address. I didn't
Oh.
receive anything in the mail.
All right. Well, you need to go speak to the child support agent. Attorney Carson, oversees. All she could do is look at the notes, and right now it's showing that it's about to go into suspension. So, yeah, you're going to have to work that out with them. Let me see, your past due amount is high, $10,000 past due. Saying that your arrearage is $10,000 that you haven't paid, I guess, over the time period you've been neglectful in paying. So
And there was also a situation with my last job where they weren't sending my money into child support, and I spoke with someone at the office about that as well. That's documented too.
Well, that's not, sorry, not to offend you, but that's not an excuse. If they're not paying it, you pay it. I mean, it's that
Well,
simple.
I wasn't aware.
Hold on. Yeah. I don't know why dads think that. If you have a job and they're not taking it out, then you take the money and you pay it directly. That's how that works. So
No, you misunderstand.
Go ahead. What?
You're misunderstanding. They were taking the money out, and I wasn't aware that it wasn't being paid to child support.
Oh, well, where was the money going?
I'm in the process of speaking with the Department of Labor about it right now. But that's what I was telling the people at the child support office, because it showed from my last job that I had, that I just left this year, early March. I was there for about 2 years, and it showed that payments were being taken out of my check. I still have pay stubs where it says that it was being taken out, but it wasn't being sent in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was the only reason why they approved me to be in the fatherhood program, was because they saw in the system that my money wasn't being sent to child support.
Okay. Well, let's see. You did you did make a payment in September, but that's not helping mom because it's October and November. I started your case in July. Let's see. He is expected to start making his payment in August. Let's see. Starting a new job. I mean, you keep changing jobs. I understand the circumstances, but this is where, you just have to get something to consistently just take care of your child support on the weekends, because I have to issue a warrant if you can't get on track. I know you're saying you are, but I don't want to issue a warrant yet because I think you have the potential to pay. And I'd rather you start paying your payments consistently. And what we're looking at is at $400 would be due this month, $400 would be due next month. But I gave you that opportunity and you didn't make the payment. So your support is $442, but we need at least, until you get back full employment, at least $300 a month this month and next month. So I can still issue a warrant if some type of payments aren't being made. I know it's easy for me to sit here and say that, but you got to figure out how you're going to be able to make 2 payments this month and then January, so I can avoid issuing the warrant for your arrest. So I'm sure you don't want a warrant. I don't want to issue a warrant, but you have to figure out you're taking care of yourself. I understand people have to live and work, but it's the law that says you got to pay the child support.
I understand.
So find a family member that will give you $300 on a credit card and at least pay something for this month. And you guys are not in a relationship anymore, right?
No, I've actually filed for legitimation and got approved at the end of June. And she was sent the notice. I also texted her the notice, and I still haven't been able to see my daughter.
All right. Well, if you have an order of visitation, mom has to honor that, or you could be held in contempt. There's not a connection between visitation and child support. They're 2 totally different cases. One does not override the other. Hold on. I'm going to mute you both. Just please stop talking. Okay. So I'm going to give you one more opportunity, sir. I usually give people 6 months to get on track. If you don't get on track, then I'll have no choice but to issue a warrant. So I'm ordering you to pay $300 this month. $400 is what you're supposed to pay, no less than $300, since you're in between jobs. If you don't pay it, when we come back to court in January, if I don't see that you're paying, then I have to consider issuing a warrant. I'm not saying I'm going to, but you've got to make some payments in December and January. If you could hurry up and get a job anywhere, people don't like to go to Walmart or wherever they're hiring during the holidays. You just have to get something part-time to take care of your child support. So with that being said, I'll give you one more opportunity, and I hope that you can step up, because you did make one full payment in September, but that was 2 months ago. And so and we're here because you have an arrears. So if you can't get caught up, then I have to issue the warrant. It goes to state court. That doesn't do any good for anybody, but it looks like you have something in place to get back into the job career field that you were in and get some employment pretty quickly, and maybe just borrow money from somebody and pay the child support and pay them back once you get your first paycheck from the job that you're working where you're driving. All right. That's my guidance to you, Ms. White. Any information from you? I'm not getting into the visitation things. That's between the 2 of you. You could be held in contempt. Yeah, you could be held in contempt.
I'm aware. I'm an officer, but I haven't received any paperwork. But like you said, we're not going to get into that. I wasn't actually mailed any paperwork. But I have nothing to say, Your Honor.
Okay. Just give me one more opportunity to get him on track. And if he doesn't, I'll issue the warrant, and then the case will go up to state court and he'll be charged with a misdemeanor criminal offense. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for your patience. Mr. Dunham, we're coming on. January will be a full 6 months, and after January, I'm not going to keep the case open. So either you're on track for December and January, making 2 payments. I'll see you guys in February. I'll give you the court date now. And if it's not, then I don't have a choice but to issue the warrant, and that's not my goal as a judge. Do you understand, Mr. Dunham? You can unmute for me.
The last thing you said, I did not hear.
I said I won't have a choice but to issue a warrant if you don't pay your December and your January payment. And then it'll be a criminal case, and you'll have to go to criminal court for this issue. And that's not my desire. My desire is for you just to figure out how to pay the child support consistently. I know you have 2 child support orders that total $600. Well, you should at least be paying $300 a piece toward each case. And that way you're paying something so both moms get the support they need for the children that you had with them. Okay.
I understand. I also have 2 sons that I'm providing for, not as an excuse. I was just giving you context because I'm
Yeah.
their provider at the moment.
Okay. I know it's a lot. And oftentimes when people get along, we're not in court. You guys don't get along. And because you don't get along, you end up in court. You guys generally could work this out between yourselves. But when it comes to court, I have to handle it, according to the law. But if she knows she seems to be pregnant and she has your child and you have 3 children, then, both of you should, if my wish would be that you guys could communicate and you can say, okay, this is what I can do and be in your son's life or daughter's life. Daughter, but you guys don't get along. That's the unfortunate thing. One of the worst things about this calendar is all I deal with is people that don't figure out how to co-parent their children and try to have a healthy co-parenting relationship, even if they don't have any tolerance for each other. But I can't control that. That's not my responsibility. It's your responsibilities for your child. So with that being said, do the best you can. I'll say you should try to pay $300 on each case, because what's going to happen is if you pay $300, it's going to split. So you have to pay $600 on each case. I mean, $600 so each mom will get, and the child support cases will get $300. And we'll see you back. I'm going to put it on my calendar. I usually do my reviews at the end of the month. So I'll see you guys on January 26th. And that's going to be where I'm going to make a determination how to move forward with the case. Okay, guys?
Is it possible for that to be a permanent adjustment based on my?
I don't have the legal authority to do that. I didn't issue the order. You have to go back to child support and seek a modification or hire an attorney to do it. Yeah, I can't do that, but I won't put you in jail if you're at least paying that. And this sounds callous and I don't mean to, but you got 4 kids?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when you have 4 kids, you need to work 3 jobs to support the 4 kids. That's not meaning to be mean, but this is what happens when, you choose to have the children. And, I have to hold you accountable as a father. I'm not saying you don't love them. And I'm not saying you don't take care of your children, but this is part of the child support case. So I'm going to encourage you to do the best you can. Looks like you've got some support from your mom. Just keep working hard. Take care, be in your children's lives if you can. I know you're taking care of 2, but I have to hold you accountable for this child as well. Okay?
All right.
All right. We'll see you on January 26th. I'm expecting to see a payment that was paid in December and January when we come back to court. And hopefully you'll have a job and you can start making the payments consistently. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You guys are excused from court. Happy holidays.
still
I'll see
not
you guys
connected
to
to
audio or video.
Your Honor.
All right. While I'm waiting for mom to come on, it looks like you have a child support order of 508. We were in court in September, and since then you have been voluntarily making payments of $301.50. I see that you're working now. I see you have are you working in security?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so have you been working with that company since September?
I think before they had me on a contract that ended and then they actually started me back.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, you got back on. So just out of curiosity, I know that I made notes here that dad has a child support order for 2 children and has 5 children in total, lost his home and vehicle and started making payments. What's an update on your status? What's going on with you now?
I currently make, I get 5 days a week and I get paid $20 an hour. So I'm doing that job and I actually applied for 7 other companies. I'm currently waiting on 2 companies to get my federal background check back so that I can actually will be able to get the income that I actually need to be able to financially take care of all my obligations.
Okay.
So I should have my background check back in January.
Okay. Well, you have been making payments and that's great. Thank you for that. Now, are you you have 2 child support cases, is that right?
I have one that's through the court and one that's not through the court that I pay child support for. So I got a total of 6 children.
Okay. Now, last time it said that you had lost your vehicle and your home. I put those notes. I'm not sure. Are you stable in your residence? Are you living with family or?
My congregation actually gave me me and my family a place to live right now until we actually get stable.
So are you married now with children?
Yeah, I've been married for 7 years now. And I have my current wife and we have 4 children together. I have a child before this child that I have on child support now with Miss Phillips. I had a child before, so a 13-year-old, and then my daughter Kennedy, which is Mrs. Phillips' daughter. She's 12, and then I have 7, 5, 2, and then a 9-week-old baby.
Okay, well, I have to look at it as a judge. You have an order to pay the 508. You're at least paying. What are you paying that it's paying 30150? You're paying what, 310 or something?
Yes, it's like 309 something. They take a fee out, so I'm paying
Okay.
300, and then they charge me like a $9 or $10 fee.
All right. So you've been consistent on those payments. Of course, it's not the full amount, but you are complying considering that you're just getting back on your feet. And I'm hearing that your goal is to get back on track where you can pay the full amount once you can get another job to be able to compensate for the at least try to get it closer to 400 and then eventually step up to 500 or 508 is what you're supposed to be paying. But you are paying something, so there's no basis for me I can't issue a warrant. I'm going to mute you for a moment. Ms. Phillips, he was sharing that he has 7 applications in with other jobs, so he's trying to get 2 jobs to be able to provide. He has been paying consistent child support for the past 3 months. It's not the full amount, but that's not a basis for me to issue a warrant for his arrest. So I'm just going to review the case and set it back up to look and see what the status is and see if Mr. Haygood could get closer to the 500 that he's supposed to be paying. Is there anything that you need to add, ma'am? Do you have any questions?
Yes, well, I guess you can say that the same that he's going through, same thing is going on with me.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's having it hard. Well, this is a criminal court. I mean, I always share, like, if you guys would talk to each other and you can say, I know it's hard for you, it's hard for me, but when parents don't talk and communicate, and we end up in a criminal court because parents can't communicate with each other, really, it's hard for me as a judge. Like, all you guys have to do is you say, I know you're doing the best you can at 3, but could you at least help me with this on the side or do something else? Or because now that, it's just, those are things that adulting and co-parenting work if people learn to communicate, but it's unfortunate. That's not what's happening here, I think. So I can't issue a warrant. He's paying what, 300, which is better than nothing.
Yes, ma'am, but he's not paying his full.
Well, Ms. Phillips, I just said that at the beginning. He's not paying the full amount, and I'm encouraging him to get back to the full amount. And so he's saying that he's applied for 7 jobs, so he can get an additional job to pay the full amount. And so I'm hoping that by the time we come back to court, he'll be making closer to the fuller amount so you can get what you need to help support your child as well. Okay, maybe you missed that part because you weren't in camera. So yeah, he put in 7 applications. If he can get a federal job, he's going to get higher pay, which would be great. And then that hopefully will lead to you getting the full amount of child support that you need on a monthly basis. And so we're going to reset the case to January to kind of see where he is, making sure he's consistent in the payments. Mr. Haygood, if you can, pay a little bit more, it would be appreciated to help mom, during these times. I know it's hard because people focus on moms focus on keeping the lights on. Some people focus on Christmas presents. I focus on keeping the lights and food on the table. And so that's what's important. So we'll see you guys in January. If you could try to make a higher payment, get it up to 400 in the interim until you get a better job or enough to pay, that would be beneficial to try to make it 400 since you've been successfully making the $300 payment, Mr. Haygood. So we'll see you guys in January, and we're going to get that child support up to where it needs to be. And so we'll see you guys in January for the reset. Let me get this on here, please. It's going to be January 26th, and we'll review the case and get an updated status at that time. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm muting you both. Thank you. I don't want to have to control the muting, so please mute yourselves as I go over your case. In this case, there's a $250 child support with a $50 toward the past due amount of $5,361. That's what's past due. It looks as though Mr. Johnson, when you received the court notice, maybe if you could sit up, Mr. Johnson, because I'm just seeing a window. Sure. You're in court. Sit up for me, please. And it looks as though, Mr. Johnson, you must have received a notice because you started paying weekly, it looks like. So you must have a job that you get paid weekly. So you paid November 27, 31, then 60. That doesn't quite total up to the 250, but I see that you're making an effort. So let me hear from you and tell me what's going on. Where are you working? And So we can discuss trying to get that payment. It should be $50 a week in order. I'm sorry, not $50 a week. You're supposed to be paying $300 in total to make sure your license isn't suspended and to back it up. So let me just see, 300 divided by 4. It's just like $75 a week is what you're supposed to be paying to be consistent on your child support. So tell me what's going on with you with regard to an employment. Do you where are you working? Do you have any other children under the child support order that you're required to support? Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
Right now I'm self-employed. I have 3 other kids as well. But
Okay.
right now,
And how old are your children?
one is 8, one is 5, and the other one is a newborn. She just turned 3 months.
Okay. Not to be offensive, but are these children out of wedlock, meaning you're not married? You're 3, 4 different moms with different children?
No, they're out with the same mom, and they stay with me as well.
Oh, okay. So you're in a relationship with the mom with 3 of the children.
Yes.
Okay. And this is Miss Brown has your other child.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me just look at this real quick. Hold on one second. All right. So sorry. Doesn't have the information in there. All right. For some reason, I don't have the application on this case of when you put in. So, so you're working, you said you're self-employed. What type of industry are you in?
I'm a chef. I just recently purchased a cloud kitchen, and it's like it's a business to where it runs itself. I'm with my mom and my sister. They're pastry chefs, and we just basically the business comes with DoorDash, Uber Eats. So basically, all you do is you're just selling your product, and we sell pastries. So,
Okay.
and I just started that this month. That's why I've been making the payments, and I
Okay.
also made 2 payments this morning. One for 18. I did one for 18. I have the receipts as well. I did one for 1,800, and then I did another payment for $84.
1,800?
Yes, because I knew I had the court was today, so I've been saving up.
Well, thank you for that payment. I'm sure Ms. Brown appreciates that. Okay, so the goal for me as a judge is to get you just consistent again. If you're choosing to pay weekly, you have to pay 75 a week. Okay, you can't pay 30 here. And it looks like you're consistent. So all you can either pay it in 2 payments, 150 twice a month. You don't have to worry about paying it all. It seems like you can just pay it. I don't know what's been going on with you in the past, but I don't see any reason to keep this case open. If you could get back on track, I'll dismiss it. It is a criminal case. But the $1,800 payment, unfortunately, is going to go towards December, and it's going to go toward the past. And so it doesn't count toward the future. So in January, you have to make your $300 payment. And in February, you need to make your payment. And if you've made your payments consistently, I don't know what got you off track, but then I'll dismiss the case in March. We'll look at what's going on then. So do you have proof do you see that payment's been made, or wouldn't populate yet? Would it?
I have.
No, not you. I'm talking to Ms. Carson. Hold on one second.
No, I just checked for any kind of information. It's nothing yet.
Okay. All right. So do you have any on your phone, or you're probably using your phone for court? Do you have anything that can establish that you made a payment?
Yes, I have the screenshots, and I also have emails from the confirmation with the confirmation numbers.
Okay.
Is it fine if I can send it over? Do I need to send it over?
Yes. Do you know the email that you received to come to court, the magistrate court clerks?
Yes, ma'am.
If you could just forward it there, let me confirm it, and then we'll just reset the case to March for review.
Do you want me to do it right now?
Yes, if you could, please. Then my clerk can check it.
Give me 1 second.
So here's my judge sharing that all of this could be resolved with you guys communicating. You could have told her, I haven't been paying, but with my mom working again, I'm going to be able to make the weekly payments. And then you guys don't have to be in a criminal court, but it takes communication between the parents to talk. So that leads me to believe that you guys are not in a good position where you don't communicate, and you may not be co-parenting your child. It's an assumption that I'm making. If I'm wrong, I hope I am. But this is a lifelong, and I always encourage each person to understand that you guys are going to be co-parents for the rest of your life for this child. And if you could find a way to just communicate over, if you can't make a payment for some reason, you just call and say, it's going to be late, or I'm going to pay double next month, so she can at least know, and hopefully have some communication about your child. I know you have 3 children with your current relationship, but this child is there as well. So anyway, I'm putting a dad paid $1,800 plus today. Dad shall pay $300 in January and February, and have a final review in March. it looks as though you're going to be able to handle that pretty easily. Yes.
And it's actually 2 payments. I did 1 payment of 84 and another payment of 1800. So it's
Okay.
gonna be 2. I'm sending over.
Okay. 84.00. Okay.
Yeah. Can you tell me the email one more time?
Can you give it to so I don't make a mistake on that, Miss Ford?
Yes, it's going to be in the chat.
All right, the case is going to be reset. We're waiting on that payment. Once I confirm it, we'll reset. I'm expecting you to pay $300 each month in January and February, and then we'll review on March. And if the payments are done and consistent, then the case will be closed. So we're waiting to receive the payment, and as soon as or the verification, as soon as I receive that, that will conclude our hearing today. So just give me one moment to put my notes in here. And the case will be reset to March 22nd. I have a screenshot with the transaction, Smart Pay child support, December 7th. Well, this one says transaction date was December 7th for $83.
I paid them last night at midnight.
It said that one said, oh, I'm sorry, I did say December 7th. I'm sorry. December 7th. Okay. And then the second payment was for 38. This is 3,800.
Yes, 3,800.
Wait, what?
Yes.
I mean, okay. You said 1,800.
I'm sorry, I meant 30. It was because I knew I had the court. This is my first time like this, so I wasn't sure what was what was.
Well, you could have come to court and I would have told you. But you could have just paid a lump sum.
Also, the lady, when I talked to the lady, she gave me a call. She said the more I paid, the better it would be for the case. So
sure. Yeah. Let me see. So when is the last time that he paid Miss Carson before the payments in November?
For around was 11/29/23.
Oh, I have that one. But I'm saying before the November payments of 2023, what was his kind of payment history?
So history, okay.
Yeah. Please, thank you.
Oh, let's see. Before the November payments, prior to that was April. He paid $7. No.
Okay, so mom's gone a while without support.
Yeah, and prior to that was May in 2022. A couple of involuntary payments in 2022. Prior to that, 2021.
Oh, okay. So Miss Brown, you haven't really received child support almost a year and a half, almost 2 years, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Mr. Johnson, thank you for stepping up. Your daughter, is there, and your contribution helps mom provide all the things that she needs. And so I'm going to go ahead and just keep it on track, though, since you haven't paid consistently. Make sure that you're paying consistently. We'll see you in March. And ma'am, the payment's $3,884. So that will help.
Judge, I have a quick question.
I hope that money goes towards the household. And you guys, if you buy, Christmas gifts, just understand that a child appreciates little gifts. That doesn't have to be big. I had a dad one time. I don't even remember that, Miss Carr. He bought a 7-year-old child one of those motorbikes. And I'm like, what? I mean, that's you give the mom money for child support and buying a little 9-year-old kid a motorbike. But anyway, the most important thing is to provide for the child support. What's your question, Mr. Johnson?
How much would that reinstate my license? Or
let's check on that. Oh God, I wish you would have taken care of that before you made the payment, but hopefully let's check, Ms. Carson.
I actually did. I had to pay 2 fees to
okay.
It was $25 a piece. I'm not sure what it was for.
Okay.
Yeah, his license, it looks like it was suspended August 14th, 2022.
Well, that should reinstate it.
Yeah, only if he went down and let everybody know about this.
I know. Did you go in person, Mr. Johnson, or did you go call the agent to see what you needed to pay to reinstate your license?
No, ma'am. Actually, probably a week ago, it was one of your child support representatives. She called me and she gave me my complete balance. So I was like, I'm just gonna pay as much as I can because I know it's the holidays and I'm trying to be more consistent as a father. So that's why I did that. But previously, I went down to the driver license place and I tried to apply for a new license, and they told me that it was suspended. So I had to pay 2 $25 fees to get them reinstated, but I'm not sure if that was to just reinstate them or actually unsuspend them. So that's why I asked.
It's been suspended since August 14th, 2022. But if you bring in those proofs of payment into the office.
Mhm.
I'm sure they'll be able to work something out with you.
Okay. Can you get to, are you in DeKalb County?
No, ma'am, I'm in Fulton County.
Okay, well, you need to get to, I guess if it's child support cases in Fulton, you need to get to the child support office as soon as you can. It's early in the morning. If you can do it today, so you get your license reinstated, you just have to bring proof of those 2 payments and ask them if they can consider that you were just in child support abandonment court, and ask if they can accept those to reinstate your license.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll see you guys in March. It's been a long
Okay.
time, Mr. Johnson. I can't release it until I get you back on track. I have to show that you're consistently paying $300 a month, so the child support case can be dismissed, and I don't have to issue a criminal warrant. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You guys are excused from court.
Okay.
Okay.
So did he pay $3,884?
I'm not sure why, what that's about.
What did it say he paid? 3,800?
Yeah. Well, he put it on a credit card. He didn't, you know what I mean? He charged it on a credit card, so it's not like he had the money. He just put it on a credit card and take care of that later.
Probably got some kind of a loan for this whole business that he's starting, and so he's using some of that money, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. It just shows that it was on a credit card, so there wasn't a direct payment of cash.
Okay. So it may not show up for a bit too, because they had too many problems with credit
for a
card
moment
payments in the
and
past. So
speak
they
to Mr. Kimby.
delay
So Mr.
those.
Kimby, when we came to court before, we hold on one second. Let me get back to my notes. We were in court. I actually closed the case because you were consistent on your payments, and then in September, Mom refiled because she said she hadn't received a payment in September. I'm a little baffled on that because I'm showing you did pay 3 payments in August, paid $1,000 in September, another $500 in September. So the payments were made in September. Let me look up this application, and I'm not sure what that was about because there were payments being made. Let me pull up the recent child support application. Maybe she just called. I don't know what happened, but I don't show any payments on that since September, Mr. Kimby. So what's going on with that?
Yes, Your Honor. I actually lost. I mean, I got laid off my job since the end of May, and so I had issues finding a job. I didn't find a job until the month of October.
Okay.
So and I currently work with the DeKalb DCSB Crisis Center. That's where I work right now because I'm still trying to find a job in my field. I'm still struggling with that. So, but currently I do work with DeKalb DCSB, and by that time, even by since September, during the month of September, that I made some payment. It was supposed to be for my rent. So I had to do that because I didn't want to be in trouble at the time because I was trying to make some payments at that time. So right now my job only pays me about $16 an hour. So and I had to catch up with some of my bills, which I'm still struggling with right now. So I just so I just started the job in October. So it's been I get paid $16 an hour. So
I mean, what employment field are you in?
I'm sorry.
What employment field or career field are you in?
A service tech at the crisis center at the DeKalb was DCSB.
Are you a therapist, or I'm just trying to find out?
I'm just a service tech. Some of the people that are on the floor for mental health people. So for mental and substance abuse, yes.
Okay, so you're working at the DeKalb Crisis Center. I didn't know they had bedding.
They do.
Okay. Crisis.
It's indicated.
Yeah, I know where it is. Okay, so you have reduced income.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the way we could do this is just to do the income deduction order. While you're in that state of working at the crisis center, they'll just take out, the law says I will not issue a warrant as long as the income deduction order covers substantially complies with the amount of child support that's due. So have you submitted an income deduction order to DeKalb?
I'm about to do that, Your Honor, also because I work at night, so I've been struggling. So I'm about to do that right now. So I'm working on that.
Okay, well, Ms. Carson can do that as well. So, but you have not made a payment in October. You lost your job, and so we didn't receive an October or November payment. Is that correct? You haven't made a payment in October or November?
No, I haven't, Your Honor.
Okay, so how long have you been working at the DeKalb Crisis Center?
I just started working in October.
In October, okay.
I didn't get paid until the month of November. So my first payment, which was about that time for the 2 weeks payment, was just a little bit over like $1,000.
Okay. So when you were working before, where were you working?
I was working with Humana.
Humana?
Yes, ma'am.
As an insurance adjuster or something like that?
No, as a data architect.
As a data architect?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're trying to get a job back in that industry?
Yes, ma'am. I'm still working on it. Yes, it's been
You're
tough.
still working on it. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out here how to get you back on track so that I don't have to issue a warrant. Of course, I don't. Let's see. So we get the income deduction order in. It looks like this is a substantial reduction in income, but I still have to hold you accountable to the order. Oftentimes what dads do that have to pay is to they put what they can pay, and then they put the rest on a credit card, like a partial payment. So like your child support is $1,600. You're not making that right now. I can't reduce the order because you're trying to get back in. I can't reduce it anyway, but it looks like you're trying to get back in the industry. But in the interim, I guess you'll have to work a couple of jobs, but you need to try to pay at least, I guess, I'm not reducing your order. I'm just trying to make sure you know you have to pay something, which would be $500 per pay period temporarily until you get back in the field. Or put some of the payments on a credit card because she needs the money to support your children. I think you guys have had 2 children. So I'm open to hear your suggestion on how you're going to at least try to comply substantially by making closer to $1,000 a month for your payments, when it looks like that's pretty much what you're bringing home. Every pay period, it's close to what you're bringing home. But if you could try to pay $500 per pay period, I could avoid issuing the warrant. I'll hear from you in a minute, ma'am. Just give me a moment. I could avoid issuing a warrant, but we have to have some payments because it's been 60 days with no payments.
Yes. So, see, for this month, before the end of September, I should be able to make 500 payments before the end of, I'm sorry, December.
Okay. And then you'll just have to pay $500 every pay period to the best of your ability, so I don't have to get into a criminal warrant. It's a change of you're not committing a crime. You've got a change of circumstances, but let me hear from I think you guys are still married, right?
Going through divorce.
Yeah, but you're still married. So you're going through a divorce, but you're still legally married. So let me mute you. Okay. And ma'am, I'll hear from you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. I would like my evidence pulled up, please.
Okay. Now just tell me what you're trying to present, please.
Okay, I have evidence of the arrears and the abandonment. And, I just want to say that, I'm glad you said at the beginning of this hearing that you're really not concerned about putting anyone behind bars, but you're just concerned that the children, are able to live as though both parents were together. That's also my goal. That has been my goal for the past 2 years. And that's why, even though, he's violated our protective order for over 2 years, I have not gone that route. I have been instead going the route of trying to persuade him to do the right thing. I'm just an average American trying to do the right thing and, by my children. So the evidence that I have, if you would please go to the
well, hold on. I already know what's past due. I already know what he owes. We have all those records, so I don't need to pull up anything I saw it was a chart or something. I'm just trying to say all we can do is where he is now. He's saying that he lost his job. He didn't have employment. Now he has a new job, and he's trying to do the best he can to get back on track and pay the child support. That's stuff that unfortunately does happen. So what would you like to comment about that?
Yes, and I'm trying to point out the inconsistencies there, because just in July, right, at the divorce initial hearing, he told Judge Parker, her full name is hyphenated, sorry, I don't know, but he told her that he showed her badge. He had just started working, at this supposed new job. We also have his tax returns. The mediator showed his tax returns from, 2021, 2022. They show the income he's been making. You can look him up in LinkedIn. He's a senior database architect. And the evidence that I showed, the first page shows all the consecutive days of abandonment, but it also shows that he voluntarily was leaving his jobs. I have the evidence on, I think, page 5 or 6. Also that he voluntarily left.
But ma'am, I can't. This is a criminal proceeding. You would have to take that up in a superior court proceeding to present evidence and attorneys and cross-examination. This hearing doesn't allow me to go through have hearings on financial records and everything. All I can do is, if you're believing that he is misleading the court and quit a good job to go get a lower, paying job, then you have to file a contempt against him in Superior Court to establish, and they can find him in contempt if they find that to be true. This is not the proper proceeding. This is a criminal proceeding where I determine whether a warrant should be issued or not. And so both of you have equal credibility. Okay, you're trying to present to me that he has the ability and that maybe he quit his job. I can't make that determination in a criminal proceeding. That has to be handled by a Superior Court in a civil proceeding. Right now, I'll listen to you, but I can't go through cross-examination of documents. That's not appropriate for this hearing. That's for the court that is in your divorce. So I encourage you to file a contempt in the divorce and let the judge make a decision if he quit his job. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go quit my job and be broke and struggle in my life. That doesn't make
it's amazing to me that someone would go to that length, it's amazing to me, and it's amazing to a lot of people who have looked at this case. I'm just trying to do the right thing. I'm just trying to, because what he's paying right now is 1/10, right, of the monthly expenses just for the children, 1/10 of that. So to have to even compel him to do the 1/10, I don't think it's right for any citizen to go through that. There's lots of children in shelters, abandoned and in our county. And we have gone through those types of things with this abandonment, utilities cut off, all kinds of things happening. So it has affected my children very materially. And I'm just trying to get some accountability here. I'm not trying to look for jail time. A suspended sentence would be fine. A probation would be fine. Just something to make sure.
Yeah, I have to find that he's committing a crime, that he's at this point a criminal, and that I should issue a criminal warrant for his arrest. But if he's telling me under oath as a judge that he lost his job. So let me just speak to him. I'm going to mute you for a moment. Okay. Mr. Kimby, this is your soon-to-be ex-wife. You guys are estranged. She knows you better than I know you. I don't know you. All I know is that you at some point made a lot of money, and that, yes, there are cases where some fathers, are resentful or have so much resentment towards the mother that they're like, I'm not paying you and I'm going to quit this high-paying job so that even if I, despite myself, even if I have to struggle, just so I don't have to pay you the child support. Now, that's what she's presenting, and she wants to look at evidence, but I'm not going to look at evidence because that's for the attorney with DCSS. You could take that to them and the divorce judge. Maybe you guys need to get back on a divorce court hearing, because I usually don't issue criminal warrants when there's a divorce pending. So you should go back to the civil court. But Mr. Kimby, I'll hear from you. Like, how did you lose your job? If you're an architect, data analyst, and you're making huge money, I'm sure, and now you're working, what happened? I mean, what happened? Why did you lose your job? And how did you end up working for the county, which I imagine is a substantial reduction in income?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Actually, I think what she's referring to was when I left, I used to work for Gwinnett County government before I started working for Omana. So I started working for Omana in December 2021, because they were going to pay more money, and also because I wanted to for career growth as well too. So they offer more money and convenience as well too. So, and that was a contract. The job with Omana was supposed to be a contract to hire. To full time. So I was hired, as a contractor for about 2 years. Then they laid off some people. They had to downsize some of my team members. So about 3 of us got laid off. We got laid off. That's it. Nothing. I wouldn't quit a job, a well-paying job, that I was working from, remotely, to go and find a job at the crisis center just because I love my children. I've been, I would love to continue to take care of them, even though she doesn't allow me to see them. She doesn't want me to even talk to them. Sometimes she will call me to say that she's setting boundaries, that I've been, traumatizing the children. I have never done that. She's come up with a bunch of lies just to,
Okay, hold on, Mr. Kimby. I don't. That's why y'all are going through a divorce. I'm not getting into that. What I'm going to do is, you do have a job. We're going to get the income deduction order started immediately. Ms. Carson, do you need any information to start the income deduction order?
Yes.
Mr. Kimby, can you get any documentation to me, sending to our court, to the magistrate, warrant application email showing that you were actually laid off? Did you get any notice that you were laid off, not that you just quit? Because that's her assertion.
Yeah, I actually called the day the day I got laid off, exactly, I called this child support office to let them know that I just got laid off, because it was a contract, but I can actually get it as well too. Because actually, if there's no way I would actually get laid off and at the time try to file for unemployment as well too. I mean, they would have found that because I did that as well. So
okay, whatever you can send to that email offering proof that, is there something you can send right now so we can look at it and I can understand that?
I think I have something on my computer. I'll look for it. I'll try.
All right, I'm going to come back to the two of you. I'm going to let you look for that. I'll come back to you. I'm going to put you both.
I need the link to send. I mean, is there a link to send that to as well?
It's the same email that we sent you for the court date. For court, if you could forward, I'm going to put you guys back in a breakout room for a moment. Hold on. Nope.
Would it be okay if I reconnect? I'm having trouble with my volume. Would it be okay if I reconnect with another computer?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Kimby, we're going to put you guys in a breakout room, put them back in a breakout room. I mean, in the waiting room, and then we'll come back to that case once you find it. If you could forward it, my clerk will let me know when we receive it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and put him in the waiting room, please. Those are. All right, the next case is one, gosh, that I've seen so many times. So let's see where we are on that. Let me pull it up first. Oops, I'll go back to position 8. I pulled up position 9, but let me look at my docket notes real quickly. This case has been going on since 2022. Dad must make 3 consistent payments. Party present. Case is reset. And let me see if he's made the consistent payments. Mr. Roseberry. Of course, he has not. Okay. I'm gonna probably have to
on that number 8, I think Erica had written down that she couldn't find a case on it, but I did some diligent searching and his name was misspelled, so I found all of the information on that.
Okay, good. We'll bring them in. Well, he's not there, but
no.
We'll see what's going on. Bring in position 9, please. All right. We are back again. Let me see what's going on here. So Mr. Roseberry, I've been trying to work with you since October of last year. I usually don't keep cases open for a whole year, and I have trying to work with you, and it looks like things just still are not working out for you. I have July 24th, you paid like $50, and in August you were able to pay that $300 with some taken out. Nothing in September or October, and then you paid $90 in November. So it just looks like things aren't working out for you, Mr. Roseberry. I keep giving you, mom's being patient, but it's gotten to the point where I can't keep the case open. I think you're just we tried and tried and tried, and I really can't do much with your case because you're just not making consistent payments. I don't know if it's a crime or what's going on, but I'll hear from you one last time because I'm either issuing a warrant today or turning the case over to ask them to file another case against you.
I called the job number that you told me to call, but there was the wrong number for the warehouse job. And I just started a warehouse job at this place called Fitch last week.
Oh, you did get a job?
Yes, ma'am. I had uploaded on my file on the website when I uploaded. Yeah, cause I had tried to reach out to the person that you told me to reach out, but I guess they gave me the wrong number.
Oh, I gave you the wrong number. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah. So, are you working 40 hours a week now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so your child support payment. So, you did make one payment this month, so you're already starting to get paid.
Yes, I get paid today, so I'm gonna make another payment today.
Okay, well, I am. I was gonna have to issue a warrant for you today. I'm so happy you have a job. I was literally.
Yes, ma'am.
How often do you get paid?
Every week.
Every week.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Are you at the doctor or something?
Yes.
Okay, so your payments have to be. You paid $90 on the 20th, but you got to be consistent. Your payments have to be 75. Just a minute. Your payments have to be 75 a week, but we're going to get an income deduction order to take the money directly out of your paycheck. This is it. If it doesn't get consistent, I have to issue the warrant. I mean, I can't. I have to because it's either this is the fine. I probably said this a million times, but once you have a job that we could take the money out, then that stops all the problems. But you have to pay until it comes out of your paycheck. So I have to put you in with Ms. Carson because we need your income so we could take it out. And until you see it coming out, you have to pay $75 every week to comply with your child support. And mom has been so patient with me, just trying to get you on track and not issue a warrant for your arrest. And so if you don't make the 75, you made one payment, but you have to pay $75 every week with your income into 40 hours. Are you able to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll be able to do it? Okay, good. Let
Yes.
me hear from Ms. Hamburg because she's been so patient. Yes.
Judge, every time we come to court, Mr. Roseberry always say he's about to make a payment. Oh, I'm about to make a payment today, and he never makes the payment. It's been going on for a month, since last year, actually. I've been just going with the flow, letting you make your calls.
Sure.
But at this point, he's not trying. He's just saying that, but he's not trying.
Well, I agree with you. I'm going to let you sign the warrant, but I'm not going to sign it until we come back to court and I see that there's an income deduction order. And if the income deduction order is in place or he's paying the $75 a week, then he gets to make the decision. This is it. You can go to magistrate court, sign the warrant, okay? And then if I don't see the payments are consistent, Mr. Roseberry, I'm going to issue the warrant. I don't have a choice.
Okay.
If I do, I'll let you know. That's all I can do. You know, you finally have a job, 40 hours a week. You're saying you can pay it. She's right. I've given you break after break because I know the long term going to jail, it's going to take forever for mom to get anything that way too. It takes a while to get in it's a full trial. It's a criminal case. It's not an abandonment. It is a criminal trial being charged with a misdemeanor offense. And so I try to avoid that at all costs as much as possible, but I'm at that point where I don't have a choice. So let me be clear with you. I'm going to put my notes in here. Because last time in December of last year, we had an income deduction order that we sent in, and I don't know that it ever took effect. And so that's why I can't give you any more chances. So I'm going to have mom sign the warrant, and that will, let me get to your case. Hold on one second. I'm going to put my notes here. Hold on one second. Do you need to go? Hold on. Dad shall pay $75 per week, effective immediately, and shall continue payments until the income deduction order takes effect. And I know, mom, you're working. We're going to reset the case. And if this is it, it's a warrant or he's on track. If I have an income deduction order, I'd rather do the income deduction order and have the money taken out. And I'll still keep it and review it every 6 months. I'm not going to let this just be done, Ms. Hambrick, okay? And I will keep reviewing the case twice a year, for a year. Next year, we'll keep looking at it so you don't have to go through this again. And I got to hold Mr. Roseberry's feet to the fire. So dad shall pay $75 per week effective immediately and shall continue payments until the income deduction order takes effect. And I'm going to keep the case open to review twice a year next year. And then if you're on track, I'll dismiss the case and I'll put mom can sign warrant. Warrant shall issue if no income deduction order or no consistent payments. All right. So mom, you could go to magistrate court to sign the warrant. Okay. And then I won't sign it until we come back to court, and I will see you guys. I'm putting cases in February, but I may be traveling, so I need to be careful about this. Let's go ahead and let's look at the case and see what's going on January 26th. That's my review. So I'll reset it to January 26th. The income deduction order won't have taken effect by then, but I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Ms. Carson. It wouldn't be in effect that quickly. So no, I need to reset it to February. I'm sorry. We'll put it on February 9th.
There's a note in here that said he attempted to do a driver's license referral, and he stated he was newly employed and would provide verification. They received a screenshot of what appears to be self-employment. Please be advised, if you're self-employment, you pay directly.
Are you self-employed?
Oh, it's a warehouse job.
Oh, they pay you a paycheck and take taxes out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to put you in a breakout room. Ms. Hambrick, you can go. The reset's going to be February 23rd. And I made a note, and you could just go to Memorial Drive, 3630 Camp Circle. You could sign the warrant. And Mr. Roseberry, we come back to court on the 23rd. Either you're doing what you're supposed to do, or I'm going to issue the warrant. I don't have any more choices. Okay. Hold on.
Yes,
Ms. Carson, I'm going to let you go into a breakout room with Mr. Roseberry to discuss your income deduction order. Mr. Roseberry. Ms. Carson, did you get the information? Okay. All right. Mr. Roseberry, all the power is in your hand. I've given you every opportunity she's been patient with me. She hasn't insisted, but I have to do the warrant because it's been over a year of inconsistency. I just need consistent payments, okay? You can unmute for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We'll see you in February. Okay, your excuse me. Happy holidays, everybody.
He sent, I'm sorry, Judge, he sent two, I think it's the same thing in terms of his verification. Okay.
Yeah,
You ready for them to come in now or?
Yes, you can have them come in now. Let me pull their case back.
Okay.
All right, so you sent documentation saying that the 2-year contract was terminated. Is that what you were saying, that you had your camera's kind of turned to your left?
Yeah, because I'm sorry, let me
Yeah. All right. So what you sent to the court indicates that you had a 24-month or a 2-year contract, and that contract had expired after 2 years, and you were. Well, let me make sure she can hear. Can you hear me, Miss?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, hold on. I'm asking her if she can hear me because she said.
Your Honor, yes, I can hear you. I've switched over, I think. Yes, I have.
Okay, so hold on, Miss Lightman. So the documents you sent show that there was the 2-year contract, which is what you said, and then that contract terminated. Let me look at the date of when was that contract terminated?
May 31st.
May 31st. And then what did you do after May 31st?
I kept looking for work. I couldn't find. I kept looking for work. I couldn't find one until October this year.
So even though you didn't have work, you still paid child support in August and September, and then you finally got a job in October.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the difference in income, I'm sure, is substantial, but you're still looking for employment.
Yes, I'm still looking. I'm still doing. I mean, I've just been going through a lot. We've been back and forth. You know, she's taking me to several courts for this as well. I was in court on Monday, last week Monday as well for child abandonment as well, which I was found not guilty because I had to present the same evidence as well. I actually presented some of these things out. You know,
well, this is the abandonment court. What do you mean you were in court Monday? On what type of court were you in?
It was also for child abandonment as well. That was on the 27th of last month.
You mean for the protective order? For
the child.
I think that was immigration. Sorry to interrupt.
Wait. Immigration.
The state prosecutor called me and asked me to come testify. You know,
about what?
They said abandonment, but I don't know, you know, what the basis for that. But when he was asked, the state prosecutor said, "Oh, this has to do something with immigration." That's what he told the judge, or something like that. So I don't know what I was called on a Friday and I had to appear on a Monday. That's how sudden that was.
Where did you appear on Monday?
It was in DeKalb County, 556 McDonough.
Well, there's no immigration there. Do you have a protective order pending against him?
I have a protective order.
The information I show is that you guys had a hearing regarding him violating the protective order.
Yes, that hearing, he violated the protective order, but this hearing...
Well, the judge found that he didn't violate the protective order.
No, well, that's not what she said in her final speech, but she did, said she couldn't, her hands were tied, basically. But
so hold on one second, because I'm trying to understand, and he's right. If he's in divorce court, abandonment court, I lost my video.
I had nothing to do with, the 27th. And by the way, he pled guilty there. And hello, sorry.
Wait. He pled guilty on the 27th?
Yes, he got
in a criminal court?
Yes, the state prosecutor got him to make a what do you call it? I don't know, a deal or whatever you call it. And he pled guilty, and then he went before the judge. And then
hold on. Let me let him tell me about that. Hold on. Okay, what is going on, Mr. Kimby? Did you go? I had never issued a warrant for this purpose. Is there something else going on with immigration, or what did you plead to in the criminal court? I'm sorry to have to discuss this with you because we are streaming live on YouTube, and I certainly don't want to misalign your character, but I want you to be able to present what your perception is of that hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. That's okay, Your Honor. I didn't plead guilty. I did not plead guilty at all. What happened was I was found not guilty. I went into a trial with the judge. The judge gave me an option to either plead, take a plea deal or some kind, and I refused that because I felt like I didn't commit a crime, and I was found not guilty on the 27th. on the 29th, we went for, she had, I was issued to show up through a Zoom session for violating a restraining order, which I was found not guilty as well too.
Okay, hold on. You guys are using words guilty and not guilty. A restraining order isn't guilty or not guilty. It's either you're in contempt or you're not. So at the restraining order, it looks like there's already a protective order. I can pull up what happened in that hearing, but are you also being charged with a criminal case for family violence battery or something?
No, I wasn't. This was something she fabricated.
Don't stop using the word guilty and not guilty then, because it has to be a criminal case. And I don't want to give the perception that you have a criminal case pending and Ms. Ligon is saying immigration. So both of you stop for a minute. Let me and my clerk pull up and see what's going on. Please stop.
Your Honor, I found a case 23C01923.
Hold on one second. Give me the case number.
Let's see what that is. 23C01923.
Oh, I can't look that up. There is something.
Okay, I'm looking. Let me see if I can see what's.
Miss Ford, see if you can pull up that
disposition. Case. It says abandonment of dependent child.
It's this case.
And there was a plea deal on 11/27/23.
Oh, so you've already had a warrant issued for abandonment before, Mr.
It says
Kimby?
not guilty.
Oh, there is. So if this case is dismissed, then if he's already had a criminal warrant issued, I can't issue another warrant for his arrest.
It says not guilty.
I had nothing to do with that, but also I'm being bounced.
No. But Ms. Ligon, you did have something to do with it, so you must have filed an abandonment before, and the judge must have issued a warrant.
No, I've only filed with you, with this court. I like I said, I didn't, hire a state prosecutor or anybody like that to.
Let me look at that case
about that. Yes.
Okay, give me a moment because of so.
Sure.
Anyway, Ms. Ligon, you were saying like lights are getting turned off. Are you saying your lights have been turned off because of not receiving support from Mr. Kimby?
Yes, this was an ongoing thing. When the TPO was done, he cut off, bills, he stopped paying and all like that. And it was done in I feel a malicious way because
that was
I didn't
not
have access to the account. So then it was cut off and I had to reset accounts and all of that.
Okay, that's why you guys are going to that's why you guys are getting a divorce, to have a divorce judge handle all of these issues. Neither one of you there shouldn't be three different proceedings, but I guess, you have to do what you have to do. But let me just check. There is a case.
Oh, Michelle, quite right.
Hold on, Ms. Carson. Hold on. Give me a moment. Okay. Let me just pull up this case and see if I could get the genesis of it, because if a warrant's already been issued, there can't be an issue. I'm trying to see where this came up. Let's see. All right. So it says, all right, let me pull up this case number in a different way. Hold on. I do remember this case because I remember the allegation that dad kept going to Nigeria and not providing support. So you did file a previous action, and I believe a warrant was issued. If so, that this case automatically is cannot go forward because a warrant has already been issued. But let me see what's going on here. Thank you for finding that, Ms. Carson. But let me pull up the PP case number on this case. Actually, not me. It was Judge Scott. And in this case, an abandonment warrant was issued in 2021 and 2022. And can you, Ms. Ford, can you please pull up the criminal case number on that case with Mr. Kimby? Did they actually arrest you? Because I remember I initially handled this case with you being in Nigeria. She said she wasn't able to locate you, and we issued Judge Scott ended up issuing the warrant, but I remember the case from a couple years ago. So there was a warrant issued. Did they ever arrest you on that charge?
I wasn't arrested. I was arrested when we went to court because I didn't show up in court. I wasn't arrested for the warrant.
But you end up getting arrested?
No, in court, yes. And
they arrested you in court?
Yes, I went to court for the, she wanted to extend the restraining order. It was and I was arrested because I missed a court date because I went to Nigeria for my mom's birthday party with my siblings. I didn't know I had a court.
Okay. So what happens is you guys were married, and evidently there's a child support order. I don't understand back in 2021 why. Anyway, so that's already done. So that's what's going on. You have that open case. I cannot open that without. Let me just open this case. I will also open up the. I really don't want to get into all this, but you guys already have a protective order that you're filed, that you're dealing with child support, and the judge made a note about you're in abandonment and in a divorce court. So it was about conversations with the kids. I have nothing to do with that. I'm not getting involved in that. But let me pull up the criminal case very quickly to see what I can find that's going on with this case. Let me exit that. I know there's parties waiting too. This is another mini divorce almost, and it's not supposed to be, but let me just see if I can get to the bottom of this. Let's see.
Do you want me to send you a screenshot of what I have?
No. I need to look it up on a different way. Thank you though. Let's see. Yeah, there's already a case pending for child support abandonment. You pled not guilty, so you guys have a trial, and that's it.
No, we don't have a trial.
Miss Ligon, I'm looking at there will be a trial. He's pled not guilty. There's already a child support abandonment case pending, and he's going to have a trial because he pled not guilty on the 27th. So they will handle all child support matters through that court. So you can't file with our court. He will have a trial. He pled not guilty. He has a criminal case pending.
Your Honor, the document that I'm looking at says verdict not guilty on count 1.
A verdict? No, that's not what I see. Let me see.
Well, it was one of the last documents in there. It says plea, but then
and that's what sorry, he pled guilty.
Hold on, Miss Ligon, hold on, please. Okay,
sure.
All right, plea, Judge Panos, November 27th. Let me pull it up. You're right, it does say plea. Let's see what the document shows.
Right.
It says a plea, not guilty on count 1. Yeah, you're right. So he was found not. Okay, I'm going to mute you, Miss Ligon, because you keep interrupting me. Okay, the judge already had an abandonment hearing, and the judge found him not guilty, and so that case is no longer existing. He's found not guilty. That case is disposed of. Now we're going to move forward on this case. On this case is still technically open, Mr. Kimby, because that was an old case from 2021. I received a document saying that your employment was terminated, that you have a new employment, and that therefore, I'm sorry, I don't know if Miss Ligon, other than child support, Miss Ligon, do you have any income you can unmute other than your child support? Are you employed as well?
Yes, I'm employed, and I don't have the luxury of voluntarily leaving my job.
Okay, please don't do that. I'm finding that a divorce.
I'm sorry.
A
Yes.
judge has to find that he just quit his job. The documents he sent said the contract expired. So I think that you need to be careful of making assumptions. He may have, but that needs to be handled in the divorce court, not here today.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't my evidence. That's why I mentioned that.
Okay, well, the judge, a judge where your attorneys can handle all that. I can't make that decision in the criminal court. So what I'm going to do is, Mr. Kimby, you've got to get started on your child support. You're working. We're going to implement an income deduction order so the money comes directly out of your paycheck. If the money comes directly out of your paycheck, when it starts coming out of your paycheck, then at that point, if you have additional income, like another part-time job, you may have to supplement it because what you're making isn't going to take out the full 1,600 plus that you're supposed to be paying on a monthly basis. So what I'm going to do in this case is just reset the case. You need to voluntarily make the payments. 500 is what I'm encouraging you to try to pay $500 per pay period. And that's the best that we can do because you have a change of circumstances in employment. You're still looking for a job, so I commend you for that. And then the only other thing I wanted to make sure that I address before we finish here is she was correct that there was a hearing, but I don't want, both of you should be muted, and I want you both to stop unmuting yourself, please. And then the other case that we have with the protective order pending, I was going to pull that one up as well, because there was just a hearing. And you have a divorce hearing, you have a protective order hearing, you've got an abandonment, and you've got a criminal hearing. That's a lot. So the judge denied your motion. I'm looking at an order denying the motion, and I guess you filed a motion to hold him in contempt, and the judge put the order states denying the motion. So you can look it up if you need to, but he was not held in contempt. The judge denied the motion in writing. But you guys have to comply with that through the family proceedings. So we're going to reset the case. Mr. Kimby, I'm expecting you to pay as close to 500 per pay period since you have a reduction in employment. I can't reduce your child support order. I don't have the legal right to do that as an abandonment court judge. And so you need to start paying on your next pay period, 500 per pay period. If you have a credit card, you can put it on your credit card, and then you could just pay yourself back by paying the bill. Whatever you need to do, you need to try to make the consistent payments because you have a change of employment. That doesn't excuse not paying child support. You guys have a lot going on. I'm sure there's a lot of animosity, unfortunately. Eventually one day this will be behind you all. But right now, you have so many other court proceedings. But I just need you to start paying 500 this pay period, your next pay period, and 500 every pay period. And then I'll go ahead and review the case to see if you're complying until the income deduction order takes effect. And Ms. Carson, did you have all the information for the income deduction order to be applied since it's with the county and we're with the county?
I wrote down what he said. I'm sure they can find that.
Yeah, I'm sure they can.
I've already sent an email.
All right, let me just make sure you guys have nothing further to add. I'm not dealing with any divorce or other matters. I'm just going to get this case back on. So that was already closed. You were found not guilty. Now you have this case. So Ms. Ligon, is there anything else that you need to add before I reset the case?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to say that just 3 points I want to make. The first one is that I just want to clarify that you are not changing the child support order. He's still required to pay child support.
I've said that twice, that I don't have the legal authority, but because he has a change of income, I'm allowing him to pay the best that he can under his new ability with his income of at least 500 per pay period. I've already expressed. Only that family law judge can reduce your order, Mr. Kimby. Do you understand that? Once you get another job, then you need to continue to pay the full amount or get a part-time job. But I'm not issuing a criminal warrant if you at least try to pay. Substantially comply is what I'm directing you to do with the order, so I don't have to find that you're committing a crime. What's your next question, Ms. Ligon?
Sorry, and by pay period, you mean every 2 weeks, because I believe he gets paid every 2 weeks?
Whatever his pay period is.
Or every week, sorry. Every week is what he gets paid. Okay.
I don't think he gets paid every week, but it's every pay period, whatever his pay period. County doesn't pay every week.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to clarify is that, I know you looked through the cases, you saw the contempts that I filed. I went along with the Women's Resource Center. They helped me a lot, with doing that. And every time that I went there, I guess, the TPO is just a piece of paper, right? It doesn't really protect you per se. And what the judges always told me, the two judges that we saw, were that the first judge, Judge Foxworth, said that really, his hands are tied and that really we should deal with this in abandonment court. This is why I opened this the first time. The second time, they told me, well, you should deal with it again in abandonment court. So it seems like every time, I try to deal with the contempt to compel him to pay, they tell me that, it's not large enough of an offense, I guess, that we should go to the right court to do this. And this is why you see these cases. It's not like I'm just trying to put him in court everywhere. I'm just trying to get, do what they've told me to do and get some accountability.
Yeah, and I think that's why we issued the warrant before. So he's already had a warrant issued. We're going to move on. I have 3 other cases waiting. I've spent a lot of time on your case, so we'll see you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. We're going to reset. So you don't need to keep filing. The only other court that you should be going to, in my opinion, if he's in contempt of child support, is the divorce judge. That's the issue. Even though there's a TPO, that they're worried about your safety, not about financially. Probably, I don't mean to say they're not worried about you financially, but they want to make sure you're safe and that you're not in a harm's way. So that's probably why they're saying somebody else handle it. So even I'm saying you need to be going to divorce court, not a criminal court, but it is within my jurisdiction to find out whether or not he's committing a crime. All right.
So my lawyer is doing, that as well.
Okay. All right. And all of this, you can be taking up with your lawyer. Mr. Kimby, before I conclude this case, I gave her the opportunity to provide. Do you have any questions or anything that you need to address before I excuse you both?
I just want to address that. Number one, I know this is not but she keeps coming up with things that she doesn't know of, just to make me look guilty or make me look bad. But those are not the truths, because even the allegation of the protective order was false, because she did that. I know this is not meant for this court, but I'm just trying to say,
okay. Listen, I see everything going on, but that's why you guys are in a divorce. Everything really should be handled in the divorce court.
That's correct.
And, but she's got a protective order. I saw for 3 years, and whatever you make sure you honor it and comply with it. And I mean, that's it. That's it. But you guys, she does have 3 different actions, and you guys have to comply with each court. And you just have to deal with it. But all I'm doing is ordering you so I don't have to issue a criminal warrant. You understand what my directive is, right, Mr. Kimby?
Yes, I understand you, Your Honor.
Okay, so pay period, 500 per pay period. And then if you can pay more, please pay more, because you'd be in compliance with the order. But that's what I'm going to do since you have a change of circumstances temporarily, so I don't have to issue a criminal warrant. So we'll see you guys on February 23rd, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And if I end up traveling, I'm going to reset the case. Right now, I'm not sure, but I may have to travel. And if I do, then I'll reset your case and you guys will receive notice. Okay. And I'm looking to see that you paid the 500 every pay period and take care of the income deduction order. Okay.
Thank you, Anna.
All right. Thank you both. And you
Thank
guys
you.
well. When is the last time
Thank
you
you.
had any
Thank you.
contact with him?
I don't talk to him, so it's about 2 months ago. I rarely speak to him. My daughter talks to him, but I don't.
Okay, I don't see your application. So can you make a note, please, Ms. Ford, that I don't have the document uploaded here? So how old is your do you have a son or a daughter? What age?
My daughter, she's 15. She'll be 16 next month, January 24th.
Oh, she's a teenager in high school.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And
So when's the last time you've had any contact with Mr. Odukoya is his name?
it was about 2 months ago when I spoke to him personally, but he talks to my daughter. He talks to his daughter. I mean,
Does he send her money?
he sends her like $20 through Cash App and here and there.
So why are you just now, if he's so far behind and you haven't received anything, why are you just now filing? I always like to know what prompted you to finally file.
Your Honor, he did 10 years in federal prison.
Oh.
And he got out in 2021. I never upped the amount because of that. That's why the amount was so low. I never went back to court to ask for extra or more due to this. He got out a couple of years ago. So what he was telling me, he was trying to get himself back acclimated into society, which he did. And he's working at a restaurant, and I don't think that he's getting like paid checks. That's the reason why he stopped paying in April, is because he got wind of money being taken out of his check. So he, from what my knowledge, he works at Buka, Buka. It's a Nigerian lounge in Riverdale, and that's where he works. And my daughter, she went with him one time to get food there because she likes African food, and she said the guy gave him a lot of money in his hand. So I don't believe that that's why he's not giving me any kind of money. And she told me that he said that if they can't find him, he's not really worried because he's not going to pay.
So let us try to give him a call. And I don't usually, if you send us a new address on the 2nd, it has to be at least we have to give 10 full business days plus the weekend. So we're going to have to reset it anyway. But let us try to see if we could reach him. And if he could come over, and if not, then I'm going to reset it one time to the address that you sent. And did your daughter give you that new address?
My daughter did. She went with him Thanksgiving.
Okay, and that's the address where she visited him.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's see if we could give him a call. Did you give us a phone number for him? I don't know why I don't see your application. Did you give us a phone?
I can.
You can put it in chat. We're streaming live. So
okay, I'm sorry.
You live in DeKalb County with your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's see if we could reach him. If not, I do have to reset the case to make sure that I've given him sufficient notice. And so right now I'm tentatively going to have to reset it to January 12th. That'll be the reset date. But let's see if we could reach him. Miss Ford's probably giving him a call right now. So ma'am, are you aware that the name is wrong? The spelling was wrong? Yeah, Miss Taylor.
Yes, you asking me?
Yes.
That I spelled his name wrong?
Or maybe we spelled it wrong.
No, I spell it Odukoya. When I looked on my email, it was like OKNUKYA. I don't know but I know how to spell his name. My daughter's that's her. Yeah.
Oh, that's her. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you spelled it wrong or we spelled it wrong, but you're saying we spelled.
His real name that's not even his real name.
Oh wow.
Michael Ade Odukoya. It's like give it take Bitway Ade Odukoya.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So right now, just tentatively, the case is going to be reset. I don't think she's reaching him. If she is, she'll let me know because I have one more case I have to hear. It'll be on January 26th. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll continuously try to get reach.
Judge, I'm giving him the link right now. He's actually on the phone with me.
Oh, good. Okay. Maybe he's coming on. Okay. Ms. Ford, go ahead and put Ms. Taylor back in the waiting room and let's bring in position 11. And then when he comes in, we'll bring both parties back in. We're in court September 22nd. I was teasing Mr. Thompson about having 10 children and 3 with mom in court before me. And anyway, you're going to try to pay $300 per pay period. You work for Subway. And in this case, as a criminal, my determination is whether or not to issue a criminal warrant for your arrest. And let's see, the last payment, you have been making payments. You paid $200 in August and we were in court in September, I believe. Hold on. Well, we came twice. First time we were in court in July. And then we came back in September. In September, I told you to start paying because you were working at Subway. And so we didn't receive any September payments, but we did receive 2 payments. Well, I think we received October, you paid $251.50. And then November, you paid $301.50. So at least we're receiving something toward the child support. And that means that you're not paying what you're supposed to pay, but working at Subway, I don't see with 10 children. I'm not sure why you're still paying, $600 a month. That seems, well, you have 3 children. Maybe that's why. So in this case, you are paying half of the child support approximately. Have you made the payment for December yet, Mr. Thompson?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So how are you navigating making sure that you pay? It looks like you're trying to pay $250 to $300 a month. How are you navigating making sure that you pay that consistently?
Okay, so with my monthly payment, like my average, I kind of estimated like my average with what I get paid and my rent, which is $1,300, and then getting back and forth to work. So I kind of average it out for now until I get something better where I could pay more.
Okay. So how I think this is the only child support order that you have in court, right? The rest of them you're just paying voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So go ahead. What?
Could I ask a question? I'm not sure if you could answer. I want to ask something about driver's license or something. Is it somewhere where I could probably get I heard someone telling me like a conditional driver's license, because that would help me out a lot more. I would be able to get back and forth, to work, or probably get a better job, because I am paying for Lyft and Uber sometimes when I'm not be able to get dropped off to work.
Okay, so what?
And then back.
I don't know when you started working, but generally, if you get a new job and if we could take the money directly out of your paycheck, then they will reinstate your driver's license. Have you? I'll let.
I checked his driver's license and it seemed like it was okay, but let me check again just in case.
I don't have a driver's license.
Well, hold on.
It said there's an override date, meaning they did not suspend it on 3/17/22. Does not indicate that it's suspended.
So, Mr. Thompson, your license is not suspended. Why don't you go to the driver's license DMV and child support?
Not from us anyway.
Yeah, somebody else could have suspended.
Oh, I don't have a license in Georgia. When I went there, they had said I have a child support case that's have it suspended, so I'm not sure what happened.
I think it sounds as though it was suspended, but they overrode the suspension. So your license has been reinstated since March 2022. So my recommendation is you go right down there, double check, or you can go online and log in. I think it tells you, and then you could go get your license in Georgia. And if so, then that'll probably, let you pay more towards your child support payment. Like you said, you can get a better job, make more money, and provide support for all of your kids. So because in order for me to dismiss this case, you're paying half and you're making payments, or you're trying to pay half. I can't issue a warrant, but I can't dismiss the case either because it has to be closer to the 600, meaning, paying $150 a week. I know it's a lot with 10 kids, or it's got to be closer. I can't reduce your child support order, but it has to be closer to what the order is for you to pay before I could reduce it. I can't issue a warrant, but I can't dismiss it until I see that you're continuously consistent, and you need to get it up a little bit more. So I cannot issue a warrant if you're doing your best to pay what you're paying, considering 10 children. So that's about where I am. I need you to try to make that payment a little bit higher. I don't know if you can, once you get your license reinstated, maybe you can make a better payment, save the Uber and Lyft, get it up to $450 or something like that, and try to break the payments up per pay period. I always tell you that it's easier than just trying to pay a lump sum. If you get paid twice a month, divide it in 2 and try to make 2 payments instead of trying to make one lump sum payment.
I'm trying. Okay.
So the purpose is, you are trying, and I see that. And you have an extensive arrearage over the years, and you're going to be paying child support for the rest of your life pretty much, because you still pay it even though the child turns 18 for this child. But you're paying, and I can't issue a warrant, but I have to keep monitoring the case. I know it's not sufficient, Mom, trying to get it up there. I mean, somebody works a Subway and has 10 children. It's not your responsibility, because I think he only had 1 or 2 children before you had your 3 children with him. Where did he work when you were with him, Miss Wallace?
When I was with can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
He was a manager at a restaurant here in New York, like the general manager.
Oh, wait. You live in New York?
No, we lived in New York when we met.
Oh, but you live in DeKalb now. Okay, because you said here in New York, so I thought you were still in New York. I'm like, wait, we can't handle the case this way.
Oh.
All right.
We met in New York, and he was a general manager of a restaurant in New York.
Okay, so I think that's what Mr. Thompson is saying. If he could get his license, drive, he can get a better job, and he can get back to paying what you deserve, which is the full amount. But at least he's paying something right now, which is, I know it's not the full amount, but I'm not going to issue the warrant. Let's hope he gets his license, gets a better job. If you're GM once, you can be a GM again, and then, then he can provide more money and support. So I'm not going to issue the warrant today. Mr. Thompson can try to get it closer to 400 temporarily. I'm not going to issue the warrant because you are making monthly payments that are, again, I just need it to be closer to 400 temporarily. I'm not reducing your child support payments. I just want to emphasize that I didn't create it. I can't reduce it, but I cannot issue a warrant. I will not issue a warrant if I know you're doing your best to substantially comply with the amount that the Superior Court judge set for your order. Do you understand that? I don't ever want a father leaving saying, oh, she reduced my child support. No, I didn't. I'm just saying, as long as you substantially comply and pay as much as you can, I will not issue a warrant. Okay.
Understood.
All right. So we're in review status. Please do not miss. I know you have 10 kids, but please do not miss your December payment, and please do not miss your January payment, because I need to make sure, I know it's holidays, but gifts for kids are not more important than providing the child support. Okay.
I know. Could I say something? Ask a question, Miss Your Honor?
Yes, sure.
So if she lives in Jersey and I'm in Georgia, how would I go about? Because I'm not.
Wait. She's saying she lives here in DeKalb County.
No, she don't. She's been moved. She lives in Jersey.
Yeah, you just said that, Miss Wallace. You said here.
He does not know what he's talking about.
Well, you just said here. You said here as though you were in another.
He does not know what he's speaking on. My children live in Jersey with my mother.
Oh, well.
I had to send them to Jersey to stay with my mother. I currently live in Georgia. He does not know what he's talking about because he does not see, nor has he seen my children since April of this year. So
how long have the kids, because the abandonment warrant is where the children live with.
I filed, this case was filed and the abandonment order was filed when the children and I still lived in Georgia, and the children were still in Georgia. That was in August.
Okay, so are they living with your mom now?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I filed the abandonment order, I believe, in May. And we got the first case in August.
So, well, the thing is that for a criminal matter, the children have to live with you in DeKalb County. You can still file this, but it has to go a different route.
I'm sorry.
The children have to live with you in the county for the prosecutor to prosecute the case. So are your kids going to be coming back anytime soon?
Yes, I am working on bringing my children back. I went through some financial struggles because I am a single mother with 3 children. So for the best interest of my children at the time, because I was not receiving any help or support from him, and I was going through my own financial hardship, I had to send my children somewhere to my mother where they could be taken care of. So I'm in the process of getting my own self back together to get a new place and bring my children here. He does not speaking on.
Okay, stop.
I don't think that's even appropriate.
When I say stop, that means stop. Okay, fine. I'm going to keep the case open because your kids are coming back. I'm not going to close the case out. I'm going to reset the case in February so I can look at what you're doing, Mr. Thompson. So I'm expecting that continuous payment. I expect that payment to be made in December, January, and I'm going to get an update on the case in February. And I'm wanting you to try to increase it, at least in January and February, increase it to 400 if you're able to do so. And we will see you guys on February 23rd.
Correct.
And I'm going to keep the case open, Ms. Wallace, okay? Okay, you're welcome. All right, guys. But if you do move, there's a different way to do it because it goes through the district attorney's office. If you end up moving to New York or New Jersey yourself, then it's a whole different process, but you can still go through, but it goes through the district attorney's office, okay? If you ever permanently move, just let us know. We'll give you the information on how to do it when there's 2 different states involved, okay? All right, you're welcome. And I don't know why we don't have an income deduction order if he's still working at Subway, Ms. Carson. Any luck on that?
I sent an email asking them to see if they could figure out which Subway and take care of that.
Okay, you want to meet with Mr. Thompson real quick? So Mr. Thompson, which Subway are you working? What city?
Which one? In Fulton County.
Okay, so can you give us the street address of the Subway? All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys on February 23rd. That's the reset date. Ms. Wallace will follow up, and Mr. Thompson, I'm expecting those continuous child support payments, and we will send an income deduction order And hopefully by the time we come back, he's got his license, he's got a better job, he's making better money, and I'm sure he wants to make more money, not be stuck working at Subway unless he's running the places for the owner. But we'll see you back on February 23rd. You guys will receive your court notice, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, you guys have happy holidays. You guys application came in to sign the application, return mail. I already issued the and then on October 10th we received a payment of $275, and then he was working, but it looks like he lost that job in October. So I'm not sure why this is back on. Let's see. You've already signed the application, and I should just be signing it. I'm sorry, Miss Roach, I'm not sure. Miss Ford, do you have any update? I don't know why this is back on the calendar, because I just need to sign the warrant.
No, ma'am. This was part of Miss Stark's calendar, so I'm filling in for her, and I'm just seeing a lot of people that I didn't think that should be on the calendar, but it said that from Miss Tammy's note, you reset it for today.
I did. Okay, and I may have. So let me see. Have you received any money, Miss Roach? If you can unmute. Have you received any payments except for those October payments? Looks like he had a job. I wouldn't have issued the warrant if he was working, but it looks like he's already lost that job. Ms. Carson, are you showing any updated information?
Not just that he contacted the office on 12/4 to ask about getting his driver's license. And they gave him advice about how to do that. One of those things would be new job. And I don't see anything in here about any new job. Let me see. Okay. Have received a call from One Coast LLC, Miss Ronder, to report NCP is temporarily employed and 55% will be deducted from net pay.
Oh.
But I don't see anything else.
And what was the date on that one? You said December 4th?
I'm at 10/3.
Oh, yeah, and he did get a job. 10/10. There was an income deduction order taken to that 275, and then he must have quit or lost that job. It's only temporary, so he made one payment. But has he ever? Let me see if he's ever come to court.
Well, I mean, the last time we had court, yes, he did. I think that was like in May, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's come to court before. I don't know why he didn't come to court today.
Okay. Have you had any communication or have you received any child support or anything from him?
He showed up at my doorstep unannounced on my daughter's birthday, and I had not spoken to him in like 3 or 4 months prior to that.
Okay,
But he showed up at my house unannounced on my daughter's birthday.
And how old is she?
My daughter is 6.
Oh, she's a little baby.
My daughter is 6.
All right, you've already signed. Can we check to see if did you already come in court and sign the warrant?
Yes, I did. I went down to the magistrate court today.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and sign it. All right,
Okay.
that's it. So you're going to go to state court now, okay? Everything will be handled by state court. We're not handling anything anymore. I'm turning it over to the higher court, and at that time, they'll contact you when the case is going forward and decide. But you can't file an abandonment warrant anymore because I'm already moving it up to state court. Okay.
Okay. What does that? What does that mean?
That means I'm finding that he is not paying and probably has the ability to. So the crime of abandonment is a misdemeanor offense, and so it's going to trial. And so you'll hear from the state court when the prosecutor's ready to take your case to trial.
Oh, great! And I can present evidence and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And witnesses too.
Well, I don't know if they want witnesses. It's just to prove that he has the ability to pay and he's not. So
okay.
When you receive the notice, saying when you see the notice, just go to court. It's the prosecutor's case, and you can participate to the extent that they allow you. But don't file another abandonment because we can't handle it anymore. I'm turning it over to a higher court. Okay.
Okay. So does that mean he's going to be? Is he going to? Does that mean that a warrant is being issued?
Yeah, but you don't. Well, you signed the warrant. You wanted me to issue.
I mean, I this is my first time ever doing this. So I really don't know how this goes. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have, I really been over backwards to try to get them on track. It usually takes 6 months, and then they're paying. They're used to it. They're over avoiding it. But if they don't come to court and you do and you don't, then there's nothing I could do about it. So I'm issuing it. You don't need to call them and tell them, please, and please don't tell your daughter. Just say, okay, the judge has done her part.
I'm not. No, I have 2 children with him. My son is 12 and my daughter is 6.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah, and he hasn't seen them in. It will be a year in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry about the circumstance, but anyway, happy holidays. You've been doing it on your own anyway, so I'm sure you got the holidays too. Have a great holiday if you can.
I do. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Ms. Brooks. Take care.
All right. Have a good day.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Tell him I'm resetting the case. He needs to come to court, but try to be on a laptop. And just let him know the judge said she doesn't want to issue a warrant for your arrest. She wants to give you the opportunity to get on track. Hopefully that helps. And so the judge is setting the case, and she preferred that I prefer that he be on via a laptop instead of calling on his phone.
Okay, and
Okay.
you're gonna reset it for what date? I'm sorry, Judge.
The 4th.
I think you said 1/26.
Yes, January 26th. That's correct.
Okay, I'm about to call him again. Thank you,
And
and give him that information.
And if you could let him know that if he can make a payment, it would be very helpful between now
Okay.
and then, that the judge will appreciate a payment. And this is position 8. His child support is 242 plus 48, so it's about 300. His child support payment's
Okay.
about 300. Okay.
I will let him know that.
Okay, and just put that in the docket notes that you spoke to him. Okay, Miss Taylor, we'll see you then. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody's trying to come in right now. You want me to try to bring them in?
Sure. All right, we had you. Now you turned off your camera, but can you hear me? Unmute yourself and turn your audio. Turn on your audio. Audio seems to be connected now. We just need to turn your camera back on. Okay, now you can unmute. I'm pressing the button. Okay, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Oh, yay. Good morning. Okay, thank you for coming to court. We appreciate that. So, Mr. Let me get back to your case, Mr. Odukoya. You have a child support order for your daughter, who mom is saying you have a really good relationship with her. So I appreciate, and dads have good relationships with their children. However, mom still has to provide, the house and everything for your daughter. So you're under an obligation to provide child support. So you have an extensive amount that's past due, and mom explained that you had some 10 years that you had to deal with not being in the community, but there's your amount is 242 plus 48 extra to pay toward that arrearage, which the total it's about 290. I would just say 300. So the purpose of this hearing is that when you're under an order to pay child support, if you fail to pay, as a judge, I have to decide if there's enough evidence to issue a criminal warrant for your arrest. Because mom's just now filing, I don't readily just go issue warrants. My goal is to get the parties on track, so to continue to have healthy relationships, and you need to start paying your child support through child support. So pretty much that's all it is. My understanding is you do work, and maybe they pay you, not directly through a paycheck. And so you just need to, she's just shared that you do have a job and you work at a restaurant. So I think you're very capable of doing this. We just need to get you to start paying the child support. If you get paid weekly, you voluntarily pay $75 a week. If you get paid twice a month, you pay $150 per, twice a month, and that's it, or $300 a month. And she's never asked for an increase in child support or anything, which is good because it's a lot more now. But I just need to get you on track so I don't have to issue a criminal warrant. I'll hear from you now. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, but like you just said, Your Honor, I was incarcerated and I had a job where the money was actually taken out of my check, and and I've actually been unemployed, and the restaurant gig that I have is like it's not like a regular job per se. They call me in every now and then to work, and at this point, I'm still in the process of looking for a job, and I have and moreover, as far as me being out of the society for all these years, I have a restitution that I'm still like to pay as far as that case is concerned. And I mean, even though I don't actually pay child support per se, my daughter gets money from me, whenever she can.
I know. And a lot of dads say that, and I ask mom, but even if you give your daughter money here and there, that's for her, but it's not taking you're not contributing towards mom household lights, gas, utilities. Those are things that she has to pay for school. So I need you to divert the money if you want to give your daughter money here or there, but that doesn't count as child support. So I just need to get you on track to start paying the child support directly, try to pay the child support. So we just need to come up with a plan. So you've been out. When were you released?
I've been out. I left the halfway house like about 2 years, or a year and a half ago, something like that. About 2 years ago, I think.
Okay, and you haven't been able to find a job in a year and a half?
I've been working. The money's been coming out of my check, but I lost that job, so I'm in the process of looking for another job.
Okay. Well, with the little side gig that you have, can you just start trying to pay something monthly till you could get a full-time job? Because as long as you pay something that's reasonable, then I don't have to issue a warrant because you have a car. Can you do Uber Eats? Can you do Uber? I mean,
I try to do the Uber Eats, but I was cut by Uber because my criminal background, criminal record kind of stopped me from that.
So
I was actually doing it.
What type of work field are you normally in?
Well, like marketing, at this point I'll do whatever I need to do. I've been putting in applications, with different companies, but as far as what I do now with the restaurant, I just, we don't have that much, but I don't, like I said, I still give her money so I could just, redirect that to the mom, but it's not going to be the same amount as far as, it's not going to be that much.
So, well, how,
But,
this is not to insult you, but like, how are you paying for your living expenses and your car? How are you paying for those expenses?
the car, well, the car is actually like a gift. It's not like, somebody let me use the car. And the Uber Eats I was doing the Uber Eats. It was like through a rental car program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I couldn't sustain it because I got cut because of my criminal record.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see are you in DeKalb County?
Well, I'm in Atlanta now.
You're in Atlanta. Okay. Because I have this employment agency that contacted us and say they really need people. They have high paying jobs, and they mostly warehouse, but they pay good money. And this is the phone number. Do you have the ability to write it down? Maybe you could give them a call.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me double check this number because the other guy said it was wrong. Give me one moment. All right. So I just called the number, and it is a working number. They are hiring. They have jobs paying somewhere upwards of $20 an hour. So at least I could get your foot in the door. You probably have skills and education that you could rise, but you just got to get that job, okay, so that I don't have to issue a warrant. And are you on parole right now?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Are you still on parole?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't want to violate that. I understand there's a lot going on with you, so trust me, I'm going to work with you, but you got to put in some effort. So here's the phone number. It's 470
Uh-huh.
545
545
1087.
1087.
And it's an employment agency, and she said they definitely have the need for people that really want to work.
Yes.
And so if you want to work and you want to get paid well, she's got the opportunity. So you could just tell her that DeKalb County, that you got her number from a DeKalb County judge, and then hopefully you get something going. But I'll give you an opportunity to just start the new year right. So try to see if you can get a job, and then mom will just reset the case. Let me give them an opportunity. Now that you have your feet to the fire, you have to give the mom the support directly. Okay, don't give it to your daughter. I know she's gonna be upset about that, but you have to give it to mom. Whatever little bit you can give right now, we'll accept temporarily. This is your first time being before a judge, and then we're gonna start. And then I expect within 3 months or so, you're gonna be consistently paying. You'll be able to have the job, but you need to go ahead and get on top of that. And I'll work with you so we don't have to put a warrant out, because then you're going to go back to prison. That doesn't benefit anybody. So
Judge,
that's
it looks like
yes.
It looks like they've suspended his license as of 12/3.
Uh-oh.
I also sent an email to see if Fulton County Fatherhood Program could get him in.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we have the Fatherhood Program, sir, and that's a program that helps fathers get their license reinstated, because unfortunately, they just suspended your license on December 3rd. And they have tag readers. So time you go by someone, it's going to scan your tag and show your license suspended. Then they're going to arrest you and take your car.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I know. But because they sent it to the notice that was on your driver's license, a lot of people don't even live at that address anymore. So this is not a good situation for you to be in. So my suggestion is try to go park that car very quickly, or you can call child support. Now, you can let them know that you're going to enroll in the Fatherhood Program, and that's one basis that they will reinstate your license, and then so you can get this job hopefully, and then start driving for employment purposes. So it's not an immediate thing, though. Ms. Carson, you have any ideas? There's really nothing immediate that we can do.
No, he just needs to go down to child support and see if he can get into the program, and money is the only other way to get out of this. I'm just verifying this. They did an override on November 11th, and then when they didn't receive any payments, they canceled it on 12/3.
Okay. So your license was just revoked. But I don't know if you want to try to get to the child support office today and tell them that you were in court in DeKalb County for child support abandonment, and you'd like to enroll in the Fatherhood Program and get your license reinstated, and see what they're willing to do with you. But I don't know. You know the address to the child support office in Fulton?
No, ma'am. I could try to find out, but I don't have it. I don't know it now.
Miss Carson can give it to you if she has it.
Yeah,
Do you have it?
I don't know it either. I think it's the East Point address, but
in East Point. Do you know how to pay the child support? Since it's been a while, there's a portal you have to download on your phone, and you can If you know anybody that has a credit card, you can let them make the payment on their credit card, and then you could pay them back, or you could pay directly on your cell phone. And you could talk to child support. They'll help you out with that, but you need to start making some payments, okay?
Okay, so and do I make the payment to her or to child support?
To child support.
Is there so do I talk to them as far as them like making some adjustment to it? You know, based on my current situation.
Yes, I don't know that they could go any lower than that, to be quite honest with you. But yes, you can go to the East Point. We need to get your email before you leave. I don't know if you can send that. Do you know how to do it in a chat where you could send us your email?
On this live?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. No. You could. They won't see it. I just need you to send it to my clerk, which says Magistrate Court B. Send your email so we can email you the court notice for the next day, which I'm getting ready to pull it up now.
I have one if it begins with ADE.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I can send that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
ADE.
court is reset to the 23rd of February to give you an opportunity to join the fatherhood program. They can reinstate your license. So when you go to the station, tell them to the child support office, tell them you'd like to immediately roll in the fatherhood program, that, I hate to say you're a convicted felon and you just need some time to get things together and see if they'll reinstate your license, because they literally just suspended it. And then hopefully they can enroll you in the fatherhood program. It's a really great program to help fathers get reinstated in the community, get on your feet, and then they'll automatically reinstate your license as well. Okay. It's called the fatherhood.
Okay. So this is in Fulton County?
Yes. Yep. You have to go to Fulton County, because I think that's where your order is, from Fulton County.
Okay.
Okay. So you need to try to get to the child support office or give them a call.
Your Honor, is in DeKalb, but since he lives in Fulton, they'd want him to go to Fulton for the fatherhood program.
Oh, okay. Because he lives in Fulton now. Okay. All right, sir. So that's what you need to do. But we'll see you February 23rd. You're going to receive an email with a notice of the court date. I'd like to get an update if you have any funds, or if you could find something that you could do. If you get that job, as soon as you get a paycheck, please try to pay something, because it shows me as a judge you are trying to provide some support to Miss Taylor. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And even if you get cash money, I can't track that cash money from the restaurant, but if they give you $200, then pay $50 or $60 toward child support, just to show that you're making an effort every time you get some cash. That's what I look for. Is he trying? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. And Miss Taylor, that's it. We'll see you guys on February 23rd to get an update, since we're just getting this case started in the criminal court. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You guys are both excused. Have a good holiday.